Bonjour, agus willkommen. Das
Who's he? Sounds like something. Welcome.
Le podcast de un deux avec moi.
Here, this is really good.
Jean Hegarty. That's my name. Remember, I did my solo show. I was going to say you did support for me, but I actually did support for myself because you weren't doing stand-up by then. In the
What do you mean
hot
you
bar.
did support for yourself?
I came out as Jean Hegarty. Remember, I got like a French outfit with like the fucking garlic clothes and stuff around me, and I did all like French jokes.
The random shit you have bought from Amazon and ordered to this house over the years.
I know.
Like, I'll always say, Shar, do you have to do like
Nah,
anything
fuck,
important at the top?
No, that's it.
I always say to people how much you love buying leads. Like, you fucking love leads. You've
But
boxes
I
and
don't-
every.
I
Well,
don't
why do we
enjoy
have
buying
so many
leads.
leads?
Because they're essential for all the things that I do. See if something technological goes wrong or something happens around the house, you instantly just call me.
Yeah, but if you need
Yeah.
fed, booked, or driven anywhere, I'm only joking.
I have
You'll
two
ring your
numbers-
ma.
I have two numbers- Well,
I don't know. 2 to
you
3.
didn't think that through, did you?
No. But we have a obscene amount of leads, and you don't
We
like
do.
to part with them, because as time moves on, some leads become unusable. And by leads, obviously we mean like plugs or chargers or things that connect things.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them.
But things change all the time from like leads that I need for stuff. Like I have a box here right in front of me full of podcast stuff that will probably never get used because it just they were essential at a certain time when I needed them for something. Like I have a thing there, a connection that has the input for 4 different pairs of headphones.
Like, it's so like, who are you gonna be? Who's the 3 people you're gonna be crowded around this one
911.
tablet watching something? You and 911.
Yeah.
9112.
911212.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they get back together and they ask
That's
me
bound to be somebody's phone number.
911212.
Like 02890 911212.
phone.
Let's phone them.
Yeah. 02891, that's not Belfast, is it?
02890 was Belfast.
Oh yeah, so what's 91? It's bound to be a code, isn't it?
02890. No, wait, who's 91?
911.
02890 was Belfast. No, and then 911.
No.
No, but you need that many numbers. 02890 was
No.
the area code, and then you also need like 6 numbers.
No. So my mum and dad's old house number, right, was not including the 028, 8 numbers. So
Aye, but you
911 1212. So we would need one more number.
Yeah, but so most phone numbers are the area code plus 6 numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the area code here is 02890, and
Yeah.
then the 6 numbers we're going to use is 911 121. I'm going to think how it's out too.
Do you know what? Let's just leave it.
I'm phoning them now.
Phone. Which number?
Number not valid. Didn't use enough digits. I got it wrong.
So if you want to phone into the podcast studio, just phone us on 911. We could probably get that number. You could probably buy it.
911 1212. That's what you
Yeah.
wanted. I give you a license plate number.
You'd need
If you're
letters
that
too.
dick, getting a personalised license plate number.
That's something I've never understood.
My granddad got one, right? And
Right.
it just said 2000. He got it on the millennium year. No, it said other things, like it said like XB to Z or whatever, letters, and then the numbers 2000 on the millennium year. And I was like, could
Is your
you be?
granda Robbie Williams?
Yeah, like, could you be any more worried about your dick size that you're like? That's just like such a
Who cares?
millennium. I got that now.
But
Granda
do you know
Williams.
what? See, when I see like somebody's name on something, Joe, when you used to get people's names on a bottle of Coke, and someone would send you a
Yes.
photo, and they're like,
There's your
"Sean,"
name.
and you're all right.
No, that would be
Is
more
that it? Is
exciting if you were called Diona.
It wouldn't even.
No, it would be because you don't get your name on
But
things.
you could probably order it. It's seeing your name on something.
Oh,
Do
you could order
care?
it, because you could order the Nutella, remember?
Now, if you were in Times Square and it said Diona Doherty is in this or whatever,
That'd be
I'd be
exciting.
fucking buzzing because that's physically you.
Do you
But when
remember-
It's just your name.
Do you remember when the Nutella, personalised Nutellas came out?
Yeah.
and people were getting them in press drops. Like, people were getting sent them by PR companies. I, nor you, got sent any. But I desperately wanted it.
Why?
I wanted the chocolate.
Just go and buy Nutella.
A very dear.
But it's not.
Nutella is so expensive.
But you'll go and put 30 quid in your car.
I had to get to work and to drive to buy Nutella somewhere. But a big tub of Nutella is about £8.
So get a smaller tub.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
We always, if we have a hotel breakfast, we have the wee tiny wee sachet.
All the Nutellas, don't we?
Yeah, we always take the wee sachets of Nutella and pop them in the fridge. Then whenever, because we do obviously homemade pancakes on a Sunday, there's always a wee. Do you remember the last time we made homemade pancakes and we hadn't bought any Nutella in, and you found a wee one of those wee sachets on top of the fridge that we'd hidden from the boys?
That has actually
Brilliant.
happened to me loads of times recently. Do you know where if you believe it enough, it'll come true?
Yes.
Where I went into our cupboard the other morning.
Like about me being a guest on this.
Yeah. If I just believe. Never
She'll
contacted you,
eventually
nothing.
get out of bed.
But I went into our cupboard and I was like, there has to be one porridge left. Like, do the wee things of like individual porridges we buy.
Yeah, the
that
wee
come in
pots.
the pot that you just fill with hot water. And I was like, I know for a fact, or I'm almost certain there are none, but please, there just has to be one.
That's so
because I really
sad
need one.
to live your life like that.
Because I was working and I had so many jobs on that day.
You just didn't have time to
I
eat
didn't
something
have time
proper.
to pour a bowl of cereal or fucking just. I just wanted to boil the kettle, come back 5 minutes later, pour it.
Yeah.
Come back 10 minutes later, eat it, and continue
I feel
working.
like the days that I'm away working all day and the days that you've got a lot of work on at home, that you live, I'd say you have a porridge pot that you add boiling water to for breakfast, and then you'd have a super noodle pot that you add boiling water to for lunch, and then for dinner you just wait till I come back and maybe we'll get a McDonald's or something. Like, that's...
There's a lot of truth in that.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even the past couple of weeks since we've both been really busy, I don't know what we have in our fridge. And like, we go get a full grocery shop and then don't touch it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you're just like eating on the go.
What's the worst thing about getting groceries? Right. By the way, I went in and there was a porridge pot.
Right.
But what's the
Was
worst
that this morning?
thing? No, it was about 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay.
What's the worst thing about doing your groceries? Right. Is it physically walking around all the aisles, picking up all your shit? Is it putting it through the checkout?
It's the third one because I know what you're going to say.
Or is it bringing
Putting
it
it
home
away.
and putting it away?
Put it away when you get home.
Do you think so?
I would rather come home and just dump it.
Yeah.
Just put it straight in the bin.
I think that's why most people get a takeaway after they get their groceries.
Yes, we've done that
'Cause
loads.
they get home and they're like,
This is all
fuck
shite.
this.
And we don't do our groceries in a way where like, okay, there's Monday's dinner, Tuesday's dinner. Like, we don't have, like, we just walk around going, la, 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 buy exact same things every week.
Do you know what I think we do? I think we walk down the aisles and go, oh, fuck, I'd eat that. But you're thinking of there and then. You're thinking of, like, oh, I'd eat that right now, or I'm in the mood for
Well,
this.
we buy
at
the
minute.
exact same things every week. Like,
We
rarely do we come home and try something new, which I think
Yeah.
then means that we buy all our groceries and we're all, that's all shit. And then we just want to order something. Do you know what I mean?
So, yeah. Especially since I've been left to sort of be the
Head chef.
head chef recently.
Everyone's been living on microchips
No.
and
almond
super
chips.
noodles.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. It's been brutal.
What can you do? Your favourite takeaway is pizza, my favourite takeaway is pizza, and everyone on the cast of Bridesmaids of Northern Ireland's favourite food is pizza.
No way.
Yeah.
Everyone?
They're all, well, not the whole crew, but like just the two other girls. We're like, what's everyone's favourite food? Everyone said pizza, and I was like, it's a nice room to be in, full of pizza lovers.
We should all get pizzas tonight after your show in celebration of you doing the Grand Opera House.
Yes, although we don't finish till tomorrow.
So fuck. Is that when the last shows are? Tomorrow?
In the Opera
Saturday?
House, yeah.
Saturday the 22nd if you're watching this whenever.
When's this going out?
Straight
ASAP.
away, hopefully.
Last night there was 3 busloads of people that had come from different cities to come see Taiwan, Miami, Boston.
That's amazing.
But like so blocked, but like having the best time, and like
But that's the best way to do it.
that's the best way to do
like
it.
if you think, and you said what, you had like 14 women coming from Newry
Whole bus,
on a minibus.
yeah.
Like if you add up all their like
Ticket sales.
taxis.
All right,
Why would you add up their ticket sales?
find out what I'm earning.
If you add up all their, like, saying they all got four taxis,
Yeah.
you know, between them, or 3 taxis.
I know. It equates
Then
to
you get in there
yeah.
and you're buying all your drinking stuff. Whereas you can get fucking blocked on the
Yeah.
drive down
So funny though,
all
because
together.
we did a show in Uri, and I was all last night, why didn't you
Mm.
go in Uri? And they were all, what? And I was like, we did a show in Uri, and they were all, oh, oops.
Do you know, I don't know if I told you this. I think I did, but one time I was doing support for Hegarty in the Grand Opera House, right?
I love this.
And I'll always remember this. And I came out of the stage door at the end, and this mother and her daughter came walking towards me, and she goes, "Aki's were brilliant tonight, love." And I was all, "Oh, thanks very much." And she goes, "Yous were fantastic. We had the best night ever. We'd been saving for months to come to this, and yous were so good, the two of yous." And I was all like, "Thanks very much."
What did you have in your hand as well,
And I
then?
had my keyboard, yeah, because that's they seen me with the keyboard. And then they were all, "How long have you been working together?" And I was like, "On and off for a couple of years. You know, it's whenever he's touring or something." And they were all, "And he's from Newcastle, isn't he?" And I was all, "Yeah, Newcastle, County Down." They were all, "No, Newcastle in England." And I was like, "No, he's from Newcastle in County Down."
Could you not hear his accent?
And she was all, "He's from Newcastle in England." And I was like, "He's not." And then she says, "Joe McElderry." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What is going on here?" And she goes, "Oh my god, we not the keyboard player for Joe McElderry?" I was like, "No, I was supporting Hegarty in the wee fucking 200-seater
The
next
wee
door."
small That is
She
brilliant.
thought I was the full keyboard player, as if Joe McElderry's going to bring some wee lad with a wee fucking
Yeah, a wee Argos
16
keyboard.
key
Yeah,
Argos keyboard.
telling jokes as well over his songs.
Unbelievable.
That is brilliant. I don't think
So
I've ever
funny.
had a mistaken identity.
Have you not?
Well, my ma's convinced that she has a doppelganger in Derry.
Yes, that is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
She says that she's like, the reason I know I have a doppelganger in Derry is because every now and then someone will come over to me and be all right, Susan.
Unbelievable.
She's like, there has to be somebody who looks exact. And then actually, a few months ago, she told me I cracked the case. Susan works in the post office. And I was like, how? And she goes, I just know it's her. I seen a girl one day at the post office, sort of looked like me, and I thought, there's Susan. And I was like, you can't draw that conclusion. Because somebody also had said to her one day, you just finished work, Susan? And I was near the post office. I was like,
What
no.
the fuck?
I know. She also said that she has a doppelganger in New York.
How does she know that?
I think she said somebody one time said to her, there's a girl looks like her in New York. So she's all, my ma would draw from that something spiritual and something
Yeah.
holistic. And she's like, well, I've now got a doppelganger in New York. But I
don't
often,
know.
people would regularly say to me, oh, you look way like my cousin. Or you look way like my,
But who
either my
says that,
dad's
your
been
cousin?
chucking it about or I just look like
Hmm.
look like lots of people.
You said you got Sophie Ellis Baxter, didn't you? All the time.
Used to get her when I had more of a jawline.
When
Uh,
you actually murdered people
On the dance
floor.
floor, yeah. I used to also get Jennifer Lawrence, the actress.
Don't
No,
say it. Don't say
no.
it.
And
Who else?
you always got Prince Harry.
Yeah.
You do look a bit
Only
like Prince
'cause I
Harry.
wore the Nazi thing on my arm.
Yes,
Dressed like him every
Yeah.
Halloween.
that's the
Do you think I do look like Prince Harry?
Well, I think you have the
Not
same.
as much now.
Do you know what it is? You have the same shaped head and the same shaped hair, but your features are different. And your hair color's different. That's all. That's you've got the same shaped noggin
Hmm.
as Prince
So I was
Harry.
gonna say we could almost be Harry and Meghan, the two of us. You would look
I'm
a
not
wee bit like
black.
Meghan. You don't have to be black.
Do you think I look like her? I mean, I
wee
definitely
bit?
don't, but I'll fucking take that. Do I remember?
That's two 90s boy bands we've mentioned this episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Take that.
We should do like people should have like a bingo card
Yeah.
and tick off the names. I remember one time when I was like 15 and I had an argument with my first boyfriend at the time, and he was trying to convince me that he thought I looked like Beyonce because he was trying to say sorry, and he was like, I think you are the spell of Beyonce. And I was like, what angle is that to come from to try and make up with somebody? Like, you look like Beyonce.
Not in any shape or form.
No,
Do you
no.
look like Beyonce?
Of course I don't look like Beyonce.
Doesn't she have pictures of herself like banned from everywhere? Because she's like all do like she dances and stuff.
That's right.
I've seen a few photos of her before and she looks like the Incredible Hulk or something.
Well, see, I also read in an interview of hers, slash read a meme, and it was her saying about every time she dances and sings on stage, her top lip sweats a lot and snots drip out of her nose. she gets a snotty nose when she's singing and dancing on stage. So she must need to veto some photographs because there's probably a kabillion photographs of her with snot hanging out her nose. And you'd be raging, wouldn't you? Because you're like, well, it's so annoying because I get a snotty nose every time I do my job. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like every time a doctor's in surgery, they just get snot fest, or you know.
I seen a video recently. Every time I say that, it's obviously TikTok, right? But I seen a video.
Yeah.
I every time I say the word TikTok,
You want to die.
my dick crawls right up here.
You feel like you're 14.
Yeah, you feel like you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
But I seen a video recently of a father who his son had like a blocked nose, or it was running or something, and he just sprayed
Up
like
one side and it all
water
comes
up
out
one
the
side,
other.
and it all came out the other.
That is the most satisfying thing to watch.
Is that actually what happens?
I don't know, and I don't want to
think I would do
experiment on
that
my
and
own
I would
child.
kill a child. I
Mm.
think I would. I think they would drown.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
because surely it's not like a U-bend up there, like it says underneath your sink. Like surely that's not a U-bend where if you it doesn't just go. Surely it goes other places.
You'd imagine.
Oh, and saying that there though, that would mean your snot will go into your brain.
Yeah, but when you go,
No, it is
like,
a U-bend.
I'm
from
gonna
your
make
nose.
people sick here. Do when you do like a, like, you're getting it from your nose. You're like drawing it from your nose, and then
Yeah.
it goes down the back of your
Do you
throat.
think it's a really funny thing? People that boke when they hear the Isn't there
the
videos
dry rats.
online of people who just walk over people who are like really sensitive stomached and they're like, huh, and they're like, "Bleh," and they just boke everywhere.
I think Mickey Bartlett's like that.
You just make it huh and he bokes.
I think so. It's either that or snotters, one of the two, which is so weird that we've just spoke about.
You
those
shouldn't go to a
exact two
Beyonce
things.
concert.
No.
He'll get clattered. Front
But
row.
I'm near certain he fucking he dies
He
at
can't
the
hear
thought
the
of it.
retching noise.
I don't think so.
I have a stomach like an ox. Like I
Now,
can't.
what does that mean?
It means I don't. I can't vomit. I haven't vomited as an adult.
Have you not? Not even drunk?
Never.
What?
When have you ever known me to vomit? We've been together 10 years. I've never once vomited. No matter how sick pregnant I am, don't vomit. Because I just can't. My stomach just goes, no, we're keeping it in, you greedy bitch. It's staying in here. Which is so annoying because sometimes you really need the reprieve. Like you need to bulk and you need to be like, oh, I have a wee bit of relief now. So like I think it's so funny that there's people that are that sensitively, like has that sensitive stomach that they would hear a huh and bulk. Like I could eat a bowl of shit and probably not bulk. Let's try it.
That would equal a lot of hits, I would imagine. You used to do that thing. Remember the Dare a Day?
Yeah.
Was it Dare a Day?
Diona's Dare a Day.
Diona's Dare a Day.
Yeah. Do you know what? It was for charity and I did a dare a day. I didn't even
Got
do a dare.
very fetishy though, didn't it?
Got very fetishy.
Yeah.
I had people, it started off, so obviously I would do like a dare each day. People would donate money and it was all for, was it Marie Curie or something?
I think so.
And it started off like people go and eat like a chili pepper, a habanero chili pepper. Other people being like, do the ice bucket challenge and stuff like that. And then it got a wee bit like, stand in the shower fully clothed and get a pint of milk thrown over your head, or 2 litres of milk. And then it moved into wear a pretty dress and nice socks and get egged. And it was getting a wee bit more and more
Creepy.
yes. And then
it was all men, wasn't it?
and then do you remember somebody kept contacting me from England about going over and being gunged?
Yeah.
It's
And
fucking
you were going to bring me with you?
He was offering me big money.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I can manage not to get abused here, it would just be a great gig.
You'd have got abused?
But then you were going to come with me.
I'd have got abused.
You'd have got abused.
I'd have been the one doing all the pouring.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have been
Just
stood there with like one of those big metal things in your mouth, just pouring shit over my head and a pair of knickers.
Just a fucking theatre full of men wanking just
Yeah.
behind you.
Oh, it would have been like a hostile situation, wouldn't it?
Brutal. Yeah. Every time we go to Eastern Europe, I think of the movie Hostel.
Yeah.
Like every single time.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we mention we're going to city break, I instantly just go, "Ugh,
Which one
Hostel."
of us is getting attacked?
We have been to some creepy places, haven't we? I think Budapest was
think-
probably one of the worst.
Budapest was beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
one side of it was beautiful, one side was a shithole.
No, I mean for creepiness, for perverts, for
Oh, I don't remember.
strange
And I'll tell you
people.
what, why I don't remember. When you grow up as a woman, you genuinely just become so desensitized to perverts.
I've never grown up as a woman.
No, I know. But you know what I mean? Like, you genuinely just
Yeah.
become so desensitized to people grabbing your arse or wolf whistling. And like, that's not an egotistical thing. It doesn't matter what you look like. You know what I mean? It really doesn't in most cases.
No, definitely not.
But did you find Budapest pervy?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember.
Just from going into like the hot baths and everything. And
Do you remember what that guy
being out
said
the
to me
street.
in New York?
That was filth. You couldn't repeat that here.
Why?
You could take him down.
No, you wouldn't.
You would. Lads would be clipping that and just inviting
Yeah.
you over to England to be gunged.
A fella came over to me and whispered in my ear in the middle of Times Square, "Can I suck your pussy?" Which alone is a disgusting way to phrase things. Like, even if you're being dead serious. Also, I think men who do stuff like that, what if I had been like, "Yeah, alright,
Yeah.
where's your apartment? Let's go." They'd have shit themselves.
It obviously says more about you though because you let him. Do you know what I mean? And it was me.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The sound effect.
Because how long were you away for? A week in New York?
Yeah.
Imagine if I just showed up 4 days in as all. I suck your pussy.
In Times
Just fucking
Square.
whispered in your ear in Times Square.
That would have been a lovely surprise
Yeah.
to have seen you.
Didn't happen though.
No.
How's Bridesmaids going? Even though I already know.
Very, very good, yeah.
You're loving it, aren't you?
Yeah, it's great. Do you know what I love is watching like the groups of people. It's has become my favorite thing. Groups of people leave the theater afterwards, so I can go home to bed. No, groups of people leave the theater afterwards, and they're like in like high spirits and like giggling and chatting to each other and buzzing and all. And I'd be like, we just entertained you there for the past 2 hours, and you've obviously enjoyed it enough that you're now like giddy and like leaving to go home, and you're giddy, and it's like I just love seeing that.
She created that.
Yeah. I know it's like double whammy for me. It's like obviously we were performing on it, but I voted as well, so obviously it feels like a real nice wee achievement. Definitely my career highlight so
should-
far.
Yeah, 100%. It's without doubt a fucking career goal and something that 99% of us would never be able to achieve.
Well,
And it's the top over here.
yeah, and I think it's because it has exceeded my sales expectations as well. 11,000 people have bought tickets to see this, and I just can't get over that.
That's unbelievable.
And like the Opera House are like this, the sales are brilliant, and I'm not fucking harping on about we'll make loads of money off it or whatever, but just that so many people are interested in coming to see it. Do you know what I mean? So it's.
I'm going to see it tonight with my brother Stephen.
Do you know what? You'd
Can't
be
wait.
surprised. There's plenty of men in the audience. There's a few men in the front row last night.
Sweet.
And like there was a man in the audience the other night, and you could hear his laugh above everyone else's in the room. So like it is a show for men as well. Like Tim McGarry texted me last night and was all, "If I can find a woman or a gay man, I'll get going soon." And I was like, "You can go with another straight guy."
Yeah,
Yeah.
should give me a shout. Me, him, and Stephen could have went tonight.
Well, they're
Sold
filming
out.
Give Me Hippies,
Mm.
so they're quite busy. But yeah, it's been going great. And then straight after that, I'm straight back into the Blame Game.
And that's every week for, is it 12 weeks?
No,
10 weeks?
8 till Christmas. That's how Christmas is only like 9 weeks away now.
What?
I know, we haven't got a single present in. Gary was doing my nails last week, said she had all her stuff on already for her kids.
I've actually had a present for you wrapped and in the attic since September. And I cannot wait to see your face Christmas Day when you open it. Although no doubt we're going to have to bury that puppy.
I let you finish that because I knew it was one of your jokes. I was just waiting. I was going to ruin it for you too and go, it's going to be a wee dead dog, isn't it? What's the best present you've ever received?
Oh yeah.
No, don't be a gimp and say your kids.
No, I wasn't a present.
Wee shits.
I honestly don't know. I don't know if I've ever got anything decent. Joking, yeah. My memory is so terrible. I genuinely can't remember a single thing that I've ever been given. For,
Well,
are you talking birthday, Christmas?
Anytime, anything. I mean,
Can't
I
remember.
got you a nice watch with winter, a wee message from Winter engraved on it whenever she was born.
That silvery one I have?
Aye, that silvery one you have. It's engraved on the back that says like, "To Daddy, love you from Winter." You got that before the day she was born.
I forgot all about that. Mm.
It was the watch company. It's a lovely watch.
Yeah, not that though.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Tickets to Liverpool. Like,
No. Joe, I'm getting to the age now where
nothing pleases you.
nothing pleases me, and I don't really give a shit about ever going to see Liverpool live again.
Oh, good, because I cannot be fucked.
You've been once.
I know, but it's an awful hoof, isn't it?
It is. That's what because
Yeah.
me and James went a few years ago, and it was. Do you know what it was? It was there was a day where it snowed like a bastard, right?
Mm.
Like over here and in Liverpool, and there was only one flight that took off from Belfast to go to Liverpool.
That sounds
day.
like the beginnings of a Hallmark movie,
Yeah.
and you found your love of your life in the airport,
Mhm.
both reaching for the last white Toblerone.
Maybe I did. That's what I call my dick. Toblerone. It's ridgy.
I call it a white Kinder bar,
Milky Bar button.
Milky Bar button,
I'll edit that in. Say Milky Bar button, and I'll.
white Milky Bar button.
What about them?
Oh, shut up.
But me and James went over, and I think there was 3 or 4 flights to Liverpool that day, and they were all cancelled apart from me, the flight that me and James were on, and we got to go to the match. And then afterwards, I was like, "We'll just go back to the airport and sleep because we're getting the flight at like 6 in the morning. So there's no point in paying for a hotel.
You're so
that's
miserable
150
sometimes.
quid, and I was miserable all the time.
Yeah.
But then once we got back to the airport, it was fucking freezing. I'm talking like minus
Yeah.
4 or something. And we didn't have sleeping bags or nothing. We just had our coats and whatever we were wearing. So we were just lying there trying to sleep with people going past us in those big cleaning machines and stuff. And there was about 8 of us, and you felt homeless.
Well, do you know, recently I found a nice spongy area in Stansted.
Aye. Not Liverpool.
Oh, you were in Liverpool.
Liverpool, there was it was a plastic
But I'm
seat.
sure what I'm trying to say is I imagine that most airports have a soft area. So, like, because you were probably sat on hard seats, were you?
Yeah, and I think we were, as soon as you go in, I don't think you could go through security and stuff because it was closed. So you
Yeah.
had to stay in the main kind of
Oh,
foyer
yes.
area. Do you know what I mean?
That's the worst.
So I know what you're saying, but that's all after you get
Yeah.
past.
Because
you
there's
know,
a
the
quiet
free
area,
deodorant
it's
and
called,
stuff.
in Stansted, and it's like
Yeah.
down the escalators, and it's all soft seating where you can genuinely go and lie down and sleep, and there's
Yeah.
nobody allowed to bring their babies.
Yeah, but if you put that in the foyer,
Yeah,
it'd be full of homeless people.
Yes.
Couldn't do it.
No, of course. That makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
So
But
you
yeah, my dad came up with an idea about 20 years ago. I think it was my dad, of having like just almost like single bed kind of pods, but like hundreds of them
they're in airports.
in airports. They are now. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they weren't when he thought about it years ago.
Yes. But then so you have to get on it. See if you
Yeah.
have an invention.
Yeah.
I invented the trouser skirt.
So I remember.
Yeah, you weren't there. Well, you fucking, if you were, you stole it.
You told me about it loads of times.
I mean, I am absolutely 100% convinced I invented the trouser skirt and Tammy Girl the shop stole it. Because I can see the scrapbook in my head. No, the sketchbook in my head that I sketched it in. Do sketchbooks that have like shitty coloured pages?
Mm-hmm.
And I drew it, and it was like, I remember thinking, oh, this is a class idea. And literally within weeks it was in Tammy Girl. And I think I lost the sketchbook. Or did I lose it?
Maybe Phoebe from Friends stole it out of your backpack
Yeah.
when she
in
was
the
on the streets. Yeah.
Like,
you ever think of
convinced.
And then she gave
If
it to
there's-
Rachel Green, who worked in Bloomingdale's.
Yes. Imagine. If there's something that has been invented that you think you're like, fuck, I wish I'd invented that, what would it be?
I'll tell you what I did come up with. The Luis Suarez song for Liverpool.
Oh, God's sake.
No, the Mo Salah one. Mo Salah, running down the wing. I swear to fuck I came up with that.
Those exact words, the ones that are used.
Somebody changed some of it slightly, but I definitely came up with, because it was all, I feel like that's my gift. I feel like that's why I was put on planet Earth, is to make
Songs about Mo Salah.
songs about footballers. I feel like that's my gift. There's just no money in it.
And what else have you come up with? What other songs from footballers?
I've just come up with loads of catchy ones that never really go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I put a couple on YouTube and they've did very well.
So how do you? So did you put Mo Salah one on YouTube?
No, I tweeted it
Ah,
either to the Anfield Rap or just to myself. I can't remember, but obviously someone's took it and brought it to the match and just started singing it, and everyone's went, "It's a catchy number. I'll sing it too."
that's such a shame. But do you know what? It doesn't really matter because you say there's no money in it,
I know.
and like nobody knows who was the first person to come up with like
Yeah.
that. There one,
Conquered all Europe.
Conquered all Europe. That one, like that's a big song now, and like nobody knows who started it.
That's it. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's the point?
There are some clinkers though. Joe Liverpool played West Ham the other night, right? And Joe, your fella Kurt Zuma,
No.
who like fucking kicked his cat and everything, and he
Oh,
got
why? Yes.
he got like done for it or whatever.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cat
yeah.
got taken from them. He got probation or whatever.
Is he still a footballer?
Yeah, still playing away. He he got tackled or something, and he fell down and he was hurt in the Liverpool penalty box, and the Liverpool fans were singing something like, "Now you know how your cat feels. Now you know how your
Aw.
cat feels." It's fucking brilliant.
Fucking deserves it.
Yeah,
And worse.
horrible.
Yeah. I would like to have invented the air fryer.
Why?
I think it's class. Like, air fryer is such a quick way to make your meals. Also, do you know what it makes? Reheating food. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
So like we went out for lunch the other day and got fish and chips, and I could only eat a wee bit of it, so I doggy bagged it and brought it to the opera house that night and reheated it in the microwave, and I was raging they didn't have an air fryer because it was soggy. Whereas Armagh Theatre Marketplace, in their green room,
An air fryer.
an air fryer.
No way.
If you want to reheat your
What
food,
was there last night?
they have an air fryer. Same one as us.
Now where were you? Upstairs?
In the green room.
I
Not in the
forgot.
dressing
I was
rooms.
in the dressing rooms.
No, in the green room upstairs.
Hmm.
Like, the air fryer. Like, it makes reheating food fucking great.
It really does. And do you know what it's
That should be their
recommended for?
slogan. It makes reheating food fucking great.
Those exact
Yeah,
words.
fucking great.
Pizza. Like a delivery pizza or takeaway pizza.
What?
If you reheat it the next day in an air fryer,
Oh, yeah.
it's phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal. And I would imagine the only way it would taste better is if you're hungover and you reheat it the next day.
Yeah.
It'd be unreal.
Cold pizza the next day is nice though.
No. Needs heated up.
I don't think I don't think you would reheat a takeaway the next day. Have you
'Cause
ever
I
done
eat
that
it.
in your life?
'Cause I
Oh,
eat it
because you
all on the
finish it all.
You don't. I'd fucking reheat yours the next day.
I tend to eat most of mine, then go back an hour later, and then majorly regret that.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? But that's usually just with pizza.
You haven't been able to finish the takeaway in a long time.
I'm just feeling a wee bit sick at the minute.
Why?
Because I'm working on that.
Oh,
And I'm a
yeah.
wee bit sick. You know what I mean?
You are flat out. Like,
Yeah.
flat out.
Do you know what's mad? Because after I had winter, whilst I was like having pregnant and stuff, you genuinely believe that because of the industry that we work in, that I'm going to have a baby and be forgotten, and it's going to be very difficult to pick it up and because you do have to take a bit of time out, and also you become sort of difficult to employ for a while because you've got a baby attached to your tit, and the baby has to come with you, or you have to leave. Like I remember doing lots of stuff with the Hole in the Wall gang after I had winter and being like, I have an hour. Can I record my stuff first and then leave? And you always feel like you're taking liberties, and you feel apologetic all the time, and you feel like, oh, shit, people are going to stop employing me because I am becoming like making myself a priority because I have a baby.
Yeah.
But I've never been busier, which is great. But it's shit that you feel like that. Like, men don't feel like that.
I know.
You don't feel like, oh, after I'm sure you've 4 kids. I'm sure after every one you've not went, oh, I wonder how will I get back into work.
I know, it's more, will I get back in these jeans?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
dad
That's
bod.
how I feel. Yeah. But even when you recorded the last series of the Blame Game,
Mm-hmm.
when Winter was you recorded a couple of episodes and you were heavily pregnant, weren't you?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking 8.5 months. And then
Near
you
enough.
had her and you were back within 10 days, I'm going to say.
Well, I was supposed to be back. So what happened? We'd winter on the Sunday, which was Easter Sunday, and on the Tuesday, so 48 hours later, somebody from the BBC texted me and said Joanne McNally had pulled out of the episode that was recording that week, and could I fill in? It was my seat, but I was only doing a couple of episodes of that series because I was off having a baby, and she pulled out. She was sick or something, and I was like, I had a baby 48 hours ago, and they were like, so are you? Do you need knickers, like pads? Like, what, are you alright? Are you coming down? And I was like, right, I'm not going to do it. So it was meant to be recording the following week. Winter would have been like 8 days old or 9 days old or whatever it was. But Prince Philip died.
That's right.
So all the coverage, and I was never as glad because I got the week off. So I didn't have to do it until she was 2 weeks old. But I had 2 weeks old.
Unbelievable.
And you were with her in the green room, and I was recording the Blame Game. And you have that thing after you have a baby where you hear them phantom cry.
Yeah.
Where you just can't. Do men get that?
No.
Women get that where you just
Well,
hear your baby crying all the time.
If you hear it all the time and it gets to the point where you're fucking doolally, then you hear it when you're
Yes.
not there and you're like, even though I know for a fact they're sleeping, I can still hear screaming in my head.
Yeah. But imagine if you got confused, like they were just screaming, and you were like, "I can hear a baby screaming." Like your child won't shut up. It's there.
Do you know one of my biggest fears is something happening to me when I'm alone with like Winter,
Aye, and she's left.
and
There's no
like you're not coming back to the next day or that night
I know.
or whatever, or fucking 10 hours later,
Yeah.
and you're like, what? Like there has to be something. Somebody has to invent something
CCTV.
where it's like a, do you know, like even in your watch where it has your pulse, and if it goes to like a 0 pulse or a really low pulse where it's dangerous, then your next of kin gets contacted.
Well, there is a thing people have on their hearts.
What's that?
Just wee bows and arrows out the side. Do you know, like, where it's like a, if their heart rate stops, if they have that thing.
Yeah, people who have heart conditions and stuff and have
Yes,
something attached
we should
to them.
all have one of them.
Yeah.
But I think you know, in this day and age, nobody's gonna go 24 hours. Like if I was away overnight somewhere, we wouldn't not speak. The only thing would be is if you died in your sleep, and in the morning, Winter gets up like 5:30. If I'm away, I'm obviously gonna try to lie in, and hours she's just lying in her cot screaming. Oh, that's
But
terrifying.
no, it's not, because she's in her cot. She's fine.
I know, but God, she'd be
She'd
ripping.
just be a wee bit hungry.
She'd be
and she'd
raging,
probably
and she'd be distressed. She'd have shit
Yeah,
everywhere.
But you can deal with that. I'm talking if you are just playing
So
about
mad here
downstairs,
'cause-
or you put your dinner on
Yeah,
and then you just fucking drop on the kitchen floor.
that is. I'm sure that's happened to
Do you
people.
know what I mean?
It's mad because obviously when you become a parent, you're like, I'm precious cargo now.
Mm.
I'm important
Do
again.
you not always think the worst though of scenarios
Yeah.
when you have a child or when
And do
you're
you know when you
around
think of
your
them?
child?
Just as you're about to fall asleep at night, you're like, there we go. In my head, my child just got hit by a bus.
But you do that and then you just continue and you're like, I'm alright.
But then don't I cry in all my sleep?
Oh, you
And
cry,
laugh.
you do everything.
You
Yeah.
you have a recording there?
No, because the last time you did it was about 5 years ago. I changed my phone about 4 times.
All right. But you have a recording of me pissing myself laughing in the middle of the night, and it is the best thing. Like, even thinking about that makes me delighted. I'm like, what made me laugh so much in my dream?
Yeah.
And you're sort of like you're like half awake, half sleeping, and you're laughing, and it's so funny.
Sometimes I genuinely wake up and I'm like, that is a fucking brilliant movie, what I've just dreamt.
Yes.
And then you write it down or you save it in your phone in the middle of the night and then you wake up the next morning and you're
What
all,
shape was it?
ooh, delete.
Yeah, you're all
Nonsense.
that's taken too.
It's just-
That's already a movie. Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
But I always like get really invested in my dreams. Like, do you remember I would have been annoyed at you? I remember I was annoyed at you one time because you cheated on me in my dream, and you were like, "It's only a dream," and you cheated on me in your dream, and you told me the next day. And I was raging, and you like, wise up, it was only a dream. And I was like, a dream is a wish your heart makes. That's from Disney, and it's a thing. So you dream cheated on me, and it would definitely have happened in my head because I fabricated that. But in your head, that thought has come from somewhere.
But also there are genuine times where I forget your name.
What?
Like just in real life where I go to call you and I'm like, Diona, that's her.
That's mental.
I have early Alzheimer's. I'm convinced.
I'd say you've a queer onset.
You said that.
You forget my name
Is
sometimes.
Onset a rapper?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking of the 90s theme here if we're keeping it
Oh,
going.
I'm
pretty
not
there's
good with
somebody called
rappers.
Onset, but I think I say
I put them back in the tin.
I fucking
I
hate
know
that.
you do.
I hate that. Especially the purple ones in Quality Street. Or
They're
roses.
fussy and there's a lot of it.
No,
Oh,
because they're by far the nicest
Oh,
one.
right. Oh,
and
so
that's the
it's-
ones you go to and you're
you're
all,
like, oh,
yes, there's
yes.
one left.
yeah. I'm all yes. There's a
It's
lot
a
of
whopper.
noise in them. They're annoying to look at. Yeah, I know. But even yesterday, because I got chocolates,
They
Recently.
were unreal.
the best chocolates ever, Hotel Chocolate, and
Hotel Chocolat.
Hotel
It's really at the
Chocolat.
end.
Hotel Chocolat. I said like I'm about to do a what do you call people?
Sumo?
Wrestle. Sumo wrestler. I bet one and it was chocolate, and I put the half of it back on and the thing because I thought it was
And the
actually
other half of
it
was
wasn't
coffee.
very nice.
Hmm.
I thought, but then somebody else might like that. But would you be raging?
I had it. I had the other half of it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you
The
actually?
coffee one.
Yeah, dirty bastard, you. That's so minging.
I
How
was
do you
like-
know who bet that?
I was like, either she thinks this one's fucking rotten or she's left me half.
Yes.
Like,
I'm gonna just chance
just
it.
eat it. And then I was eating it and I was all, that's rotten, that's coffee.
Also, fuck you, because they are very expensive, very fancy chocolates. And I had, eaten a handful out of them with like the 2 girls in my dressing room. And when I brought them home, I came back, you'd fucking cleaned all the good ones out.
Aye.
You left me with carrot cake, pecan fucking pie,
Aye.
and some tiramisu shite
Where'd you get them?
as a gift.
From who?
GBL.
And did they get one each as well?
Yes.
The girls?
But I
And
opened
you
mine
shared
first.
yours with them?
Yes.
Well then, you
More
fucking
value.
dug your own grave.
But I came home and you'd cleaned out all the rest of the good ones.
For all I knew, you bought me them because I'd been working so hard while you were away all the time.
I bought you a half-eaten box of chocolates.
No, but you know the way people buy presents and then they like are hungry on the journey,
Yes.
and they're like, "There's physically nothing else in
What
the car."
TV show was it? Was it in Gavin and or the Royal Family or something, where someone like there was like 2 trays of dairy milk and they just took one out and then
The present was
gifted one tray
it.
inside.
Because the royal family,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Joe, I've been in here since 9 o'clock in this room, right? It's 11:15. You came out at 10:30ish to record, and I had lit a big fire. Like, we have a wood burner. I didn't just light a fire.
Yeah,
And this place was so toasty. And by the time you came into the room,
it was
place
so smoky.
full of smoke, and we
Yeah.
had to open the door, and I was fucking freezing. I should have just saved all that wood, and we should just recorded just out in the rain.
Holy shit, that was a lot of useless information.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously something wrong with the log burner, that it's made the room pure smoky. I'm gonna have to throw my clothes out or wash them.
Do you like the smell of like open fire smoke?
On your clothes?
Aye.
No,
I
it
love
smells
it.
like the 12th of July.
Smells like you've been camping or something.
I mean, you don't want to then go on to do other things and smell like a bonfire
It's
when people
interesting,
aren't
though.
in
It's a
that
story.
bonfire related
It's a story.
situation.
People begin to think, the fuck was he barbecuing food this morning? Like what?
What's your
Right.
favourite season? I know they're going to be between autumn and winter.
Probably 05 when we won the Champions League.
Oh, fuck.
It depends. Sometimes when I'm halfway through summer, I'm like,
Done with this.
no, I'm like, we need
More.
more of this. Like, we have not enough summer yet. You know, like there has to be so much more. But then by the time it comes to the end of that season, I'm like, bring on the next one. Fuck,
Yes.
I'm down for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love autumn. I love the colours of the trees in autumn. I love like the change in the nights.
Didn't somebody come over to you
The
to gig
miserable
last night
weather.
and say, how's your daughter, Autumn? It's called winter.
Yeah.
I
How's
know.
autumn?
I know.
Yeah, it's going well, thanks.
Do you know the amount of people that have said to me, if you have another one, will you call it like summer or you know, autumn or something? I'm like, that's mental. Like if we had 2 children and we called them both after seasons.
Like what did Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin call theirs? Apple?
Apple.
Like were people coming up to them going,
Where's lemon and meringue?
grapefruit
No.
juice soon, or
Meringue's not.
lemon and meringue?
Where's lemon and wheat plum?
Where's Pava and Lova? Fucking dick.
Pava and Lova is a good name if you had 2 dogs.
Pava and Lova?
Yeah. Pava, Lova.
No. Definitely not.
The dogs are hard of hearing. I had to call them twice. Pava. Do you know what that sounds like? Do you know when you go on your holidays, there's always a wee shit song by the pool? Pava,
Yeah.
Lova, doesn't it?
I was thinking of them last night when I was driving home from my gig and I was listening to your podcast and you were talking, somebody said the word footsteps and I was
Footsteps.
all, footsteps.
Footsteps.
Da, da, da,
Da, da.
That's Mark Curry's, wasn't it?
Our honeymoon cruise, there was like, because do you know when you go on your holidays, it's classic. It's like one of those things. There's always a song you come back that you've known
Always.
that's like a Spanishy song. But there was like a Mediterranean, Caribbean band who would like play the drums and like they were like this
Feeling
here.
Hot.
Yeah, like that sort of thing. And there was always footsteps. Footsteps.
Brilliant
Footsteps. We came back and looked that up. That's a song, obviously. Like it's on
Yeah,
YouTube,
it's
isn't
so
it?
hard to find though.
Yes,
I did
different
find
versions of it.
once on YouTube, but I think there's about 20 different versions of stuff, but it's all different songs.
Yeah, that is a tune.
It's brilliant. Remember the boys came back from holidays once?
Coco
and
Loco.
They were all choco latte.
Oh, Choco
and all,
Chocolate.
and
Who's fucking Coco Loco?
I don't know. It's 2 dogs, is it? Coco
Yes.
and Loco.
Coco and Loco. That's a good name for dogs. Yes, chocolate. Everybody loves chocolate. Here, we've put that in Home Alone. Choco fucking latte.
I think you're right.
So if you want to come do a really funny Christmas show. Come to the Grand Opera House. Tickets are available on goh.co.uk, and you will hear a tacky by the pill summer song repeated.
Cha cha cha, isn't it?
No,
what do you call him?
I
I know your guy.
yeah.
He's like a
Led
waiter.
Zeppelin.
What do you call him?
Sled.
Sled Zeppelin.
A character called Sled Zeppelin is in it. It's Christmas themed,
What about
and
that?
he sings chocolate. This is so random,
Yeah,
but that's in the show.
that's actually the end scene. That's how it ends, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's
Show's called
we've
Home
given
Alone,
away.
by the way.
Yeah, Home Alone. Tickets right now. Go get them. And when are you? Bridesmaids finishes next week.
The only place really
29th?
that
30th.
could be doing moves more bums on seats is in the Millennium Forum, which is on the 28th and the 29th of October. I'll be at Halloween weekend.
Sure, any gig in Derry is nothing but bums on seats, isn't it?
Oh, that's cheeky.
Cheeky lads.
Cheeky latte. Cheeky. Do my man I used to sing it all the time. Remember the cheeky girls?
Joey Woodlice walking really, really slowly towards you.
Is that the one
So
there?
If we're still recording in 3 weeks' time, you may watch it.
It looks like an endemimi bean. Is that
A
what you call
what?
it? An endemimi bean? An endemimi? An endememe? An enemy? It's a wee seed or a bean thing.
Like a toy?
No, it's like a flaxseed or it's like a healthy
And then the mimi bean?
and then an endememe and then mammy. I don't know.
Right.
My man Di used to sing cheeky girls in our house growing up. Did your man Di ever have songs that like used to like float around the house, or was there was no joy in your house? Was there?
It was more just like the radio like chart songs at the
Yes.
time, like Saw Doctors and things like that, and Sonia and fucking
What was
Belinda
Sonia's
Carlisle
song?
and stuff. I can't remember, but she did have one song, I think.
Yeah.
She's from Liverpool, so there was an affiliation there. I think my dad played her single quite a lot.
There was songs that my man Da sang that they still sing. Like they never got over it. Like my dad still walks around going trailers for sailor rent, rooms to let 50 cent. They still do. From the Fiat Punto ad, I see you baby. Shaking that ass. Do you remember the Fiat Punto that looked like I had a fat ass?
Yeah.
And the ad was just all people shaking their arses. They walk around going, I see you, baby. And then my dad
That's
would
the other
go,
one
shaking
too.
that ass.
There was another ad. I think your mum and dad
They do
did
the.
quite a lot.
Is it Connor Grimes that does the ad about you? You may be beautiful, but they're keeping my idea on file in a filing cabinet. He said they're a fisherman out at sea. It's for fucking fish fingers or something. I don't know.
Couldn't be for fish fingers.
It's probably not for fish fingers, but it's fishermen out at sea, and yeah, it was like a real classic line. There's a couple of ads, and then they do the whole Frank Mitchell. Do you want a spice? It's Frank. None of those are songs. They're now phrases, but songs wise, they did the cheeky girls, and my ma always did. Do you remember the ketchup song? I said, hey, my baby. She didn't know a single word, like a Spanish word to it, but she'd be all, Bama snobby.
So when they both did the cheeky girls, like was your dad in full drag, or did he just
Yeah,
voice?
he was cheeky.
cheeky.
Yeah, cheeky. Yeah,
Didn't one of them marry a politician?
I think you're
Like
right.
Some wee creepy man.
And it was so bizarre.
So weird.
Such a weird pairing.
That's what MC you're thinking of. How bizarre.
How bizarre.
Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
It's mad that nowadays it's very hard to find something that's still nostalgic, because you have such easy access to every song that has ever been made,
Mm-hmm.
that nowadays it's hard to find something and you go, oh, remember that. It's like, because
Yeah, because you've
even
heard it
now,
loads.
There's 90s channels on Sky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's
But
90s
that's what I think.
playlists on Spotify. It's like it's hard to find something now that
Yeah, that you're like, oh, I haven't heard that in 20 years.
yeah.
Because like whenever we see photographs or video footage of ourselves as kids, you'd be like, oh dear, like, because they're few and far between, and you don't often see them, and you didn't often see them growing up. Whereas our kids, and like younger millennials from us would like, or Gen Z, or who are these? I don't know what the next people are.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, right? Sorry, and they would see and have seen photographs of themselves regularly growing up. Footage. They have phones that have cameras on them, so they've seen footage and videos of themselves and photographs of themselves every day. So it's not weird to see a photograph of himself 5 years ago. Like you could show any of your kids a photograph of themselves as a child, and they'd be all, yeah, I've seen one yesterday. Like I see those all the time. It's not as nostalgic
Yeah.
because there's not a big gap between seeing it now and seeing it then.
Do you think time travel's ever going to be a thing? Do you think like
It
everything that
could
has
already
happened in
be.
the past?
If it's ever going to be, then it is now because they'll have travelled back.
Yeah, because Joe, what I was thinking as well is, see, when you're all like, oh, I'd love to experience a day in their eyes or whatever, but for all you know, there's 5,000 people now,
Who are doing that?
10,000 years away, who are currently in my head living my life for a day. But then,
Is that why every day you're a different personality?
oh yeah, schizo. That's
Full
right.
schizo.
I'm not going to pick
It's
myself
like
up.
Sean
over it.
Hanks is a plumber today.
Well, servicing your pipes, that's it.
Yeah. Ew.
Ew.
Who is it that was it Stephen Hawking or was it Bill Gates? Somebody threw a party in the
difference there.
future.
Don't know. Nobody showed up.
Oh no, what do you call him? Who does all the
David Blaine,
no, the boy with the rocket.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. I think it might have been him. Threw a party in the future, so he didn't tell anybody about it. I don't think anybody turned up, so he was proven. So I think what must have happened is he like posted online saying, "I'm having a party on July the 18th, 2014." Say he posted it this week, and then he remembers that nobody turned up.
How does he remember?
Because he can go, no one turned up. I don't know. I've got confused.
How does he know?
Because
How
he
do you know?
remembers 10 years ago when nobody turned up.
But how did he know where he was? Like, was he?
So what would have had to have happened is someday a pile of people turn up to your house.
But why does it have to be in his house? Could have been in a venue and it did go ahead and he didn't show up and everyone was all, where the fuck's Elon?
I think we can deduce
Where's
from
Muskie?
this. I don't have enough details about this story,
Yeah.
but I know there was a thing where he was like, it might not even be him. That's how shit this story is. It might just be some other guy.
Yeah.
Tried to throw a party in the past by telling people in the future so you could debunk that there was. But what I also you could take from that is that maybe just nobody liked you. Maybe time travel's a thing, but all the time travelers were like, why would I waste my time coming to your party when I'm time traveling? I can go back and hang out with Elvis.
Would you want to though?
I wouldn't be bothered. It wouldn't be my thing.
To me, anything past early 90s.
Now, would you
May as
not be
well have not
interested
happened.
in going to like,
No.
if you'd full access to everything anywhere ever, would you not be like, right, I'll go back and stand on stage with Queen at Live Aid? I'll hold the Pepsi cup.
But people would be like, why the fuck's he? Who's this?
Well, I'm sure there's about 10, 15 people on stage who weren't in the band, who were all technicians and stuff. Just smoke a fag and hold a stick for some drums. Fit right in.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know what would have to happen for me to want to go back in time and stand there and witness it.
Oh, don't be so boring, Sean. What else are you
No.
doing?
Everything's a conspiracy theory nowadays, though, too, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Everything. It's like fucking. I went down a rabbit hole the other day watching videos online, TikTok, and it was all just about Avril Lavigne. She died in a car accident or something. when she
There's
was
that whole
younger
thing.
and
It's
they
not really
replaced
her.
with somebody else. And
I
you
don't
can see all
understand
these things and
why they think the world needs Avril Lavigne to be in making music that much that they're willing to like do all that.
But when you
That
think about it
somebody's
too-
willing to give up their lives to now be Avril Lavigne.
Or she's just playing the part as Avril Lavigne. Didn't that happen to Lorraine Kelly? She was
Yes.
done for like £1 million tax or something, and
And
got
she
away
said
with it 'cause she
Lorraine
said
Kelly.
Kelly's a character that she plays.
I mean, but then you can't earn money as a character then. So then she should have been done for fraud if that was the case. Like that doesn't make sense.
I'll tell Rodney. He's in the fucking Caribbean.
Rodney
right
bought
now.
our house. Yeah. Nice guy.
Thanks
Yeah.
for coming on. I'm
Oh.
gonna finish up. I'm starving,
Okay.
and we need to get back
You would
to our
never
lives.
say that to any other guest.
That's how I end
every
episode.
podcast.
That shows that you've never listened
I'm
to my
starving.
podcast.
No, you don't.
I just go, I need a shit. Game over. And then I just switch my mic off. And then people just eventually see themselves out.
I have to see how to turn off your laptop. Rodney sees into the door. Well, thanks for having me on.
There's a week left of Bridesmaids. Get tickets for Derry. You're in Ballymena as well. You're in
Ballymena,
I'm gonna say Cookstown,
Cookstown, Coleraine, 2 shows in Derry. A couple more left in the Opera House, but they're pretty much sold out. I think it's just single seats. And also, more importantly, buy tickets to Home Alone at goh.co.uk. Our Christmas show. We'll not be on it, but we've written it and we're producing it. And it's our first.
Most nights.
Yeah, it's our first not project. Well, it's our first production under our
company. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's exciting.
Yeah. One thing I never do is plug gigs on this, and the reason why is because I'm recording this on my phone, and all my gigs are on my phone. But I can actually remember that on the 27th I'm doing Pug Uglies, which is next Thursday with Dave Elliott and I think Tim McGarry. Then 28th I'm headlining the Glenowen. I'm going to say it's a hotel.
Yes, I did it last month. It's brilliant.
Where is it?
Unreal gig, West Belfast.
Is it?
Brilliant.
So I'm doing that on the 20th, and the 29th I'm in the Woodville in Lurgan doing a Halloween gig with fucking the Bonnevilles.
Oh, good.
I had Andy on last week. He was brilliant. So I'm looking forward to finally seeing them live too. So that's next
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Fair
so
play.
Go to one of them or don't.
And if you don't mind listening to my podcast, it's called Remember When with Diona Doherty.
Now, with your podcast, there's like dots and a question mark and then space and stuff. What when you type in Remember When, does it just come up?
No idea.
Type in your name,
no idea. Listen, find your way there. I have no idea. It's called Remember When, ... question mark with Diona Doherty. But I mean, you'll be grand. If you start typing in Remember When in any of the podcast places, I'm sure it comes up pretty soon after you get to the W.
It's bound to.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'm trying to make you feel really uncomfortable.
I won't. I'm in my own house.
I know. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And you want to go and warm up now?
Yeah.
You can take your wee blanket and all off.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself.
Wee granny. Thank you. Love you.
See us back here next week, guys. Love yous all. Thanks for listening. Bye. See you later. I roll like titles and stuff.
Do you know what's the worst? The worst is ending the podcast the last minute. You're all like, you talk freely for an hour and then you're all, bye. You just don't know how to say bye, don't you? Goodbye.
That's how I am. Was that you actually?
I mean, no, you're going to continue to talk. I mean,
I do that at gigs when I don't know
I
how
know.
to end the gig.
I've seen you.
Even last night, I finished playing the keyboard and I was like, so yeah, thanks very much for listening to me. There's going to be a break now, and then Paddy's going to come on, and then everyone clapped, and then I was like, I now have to stand up, fix the mic stand back up, and then walk off when everyone has finished clapping. So I was like, thanks very much, give it up for the break, we'll see you all in
Give it up
20
for the
minutes.
break.
I was like, I didn't know what to do. So
I've watched you sometimes do a full TED talk before you're leaving, and be like,
I just don't know
just remember, guys, be kind towards one another, be nice, safe drive home, kiss your children goodnight when you get back to the house, have your cheese and toast, cuddle up to your wife, and you're like, people are trying to laugh. That's like you being brought on after some tragic video about death. You've been brought on to gigs where it's like horrific.
Last week.
Lie. And it's like, it's the video about people dying and trying to raise awareness for suicide prevention and whatever, and then they're like, now here's a wee fella gonna come on and do some jokes.
Yeah.
And like, that is,
I just do that in reverse.
yes, you do a set that's like suicide prevention and then do a TED talk at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
Home Alone.
goh.co.uk.
GOH. Bridesmaids of Northern Ireland.
GOH.
Glenowen. I'm joking, yeah.
It's like
I'm
bingo.
joking, yeah.
So I know, Joanne, I just didn't. Yeah.
Thanks.